again. Second thing, I've known Jess for a number of years. She's been incredibly grateful for time that I've spent with her. Every time I took something down, she took down notes, and it's been an honor and a privilege to be your mentor, Jessica. I love you. Jessica is going around the world making these fantastic speeches, empowering women at every opportunity, beating down male toxicity, and she's always kind of zany, and a lot of people don't understand why she's so crazy. But the thing is, Jessica you don't have to worry about filtering with Jessica, good or bad. It comes out. She's honest, she's authentic, she's fun as hell, and we have a treat for you today. Every time she gets on the mic, she just kills it. Jessica, it's yours.
You want to build credibility, but you don't want to brag. It's very difficult, and there's a fine line. And if you're a woman, there's even a finer line about how we have to behave. So, we're going to start off with a very important person in your life. Who is the most boring person that you know? Shout it out, unless they're in the room. Think about that person. Now, think about the funniest person you know. Okay? Now, what is the difference between the interesting person and the boring person? What is one key thing, the most important thing? All my theater people in the room know where this is going. What does an interesting person do that a boring person doesn't do? Make you laugh, but there's a way to make you laugh.
Take risks.
Take risks, very nice. Good. Yeah, communicate. That's a communication coach kind of answer. Thank you. Boring answer.
Listen well. Listen.
Listen well. No. Boring people listen very well. Make fun of themselves. Close. Energy. Connect with the audience.
Entertaining.
Storytelling. Okay, but in storytelling, something happens.
Emotion.
Okay. Yes. Now get closer. Give me an emotion that boring people pretty much never do because they're too scared to do it.
Excitement.
Yeah, excitement. Okay, we're getting close.
Get your attention.
Great. Unexpected. Right? Unexpected makes someone interesting. What Victor just said about me was unexpected. I don't know why I didn't expect him to say that, but it was. And so it got a laugh from you guys. And it was more interesting than a normal presentation of a person, right? You have to take some risks. I could have been offended. I ain't crazy, right? I am, and it's okay. But you have to be willing to also be delightful. It's delightful when you say something out of the box. Saying something boring will never get you remembered, ever. And most pitches are incredibly boring because you're afraid of offending someone. Okay, so most of the time, we want to hear, you did what? Oh my God, we want to hear the gossip, we want to hear the juice, we want to hear the emotions, we want to hear the terror, we want to hear that you had spinach in your teeth when you went on the date on Saturday night. We want to hear all of that. We don't want to hear the normal. So, first rule, idea number one, how to brag without bragging. You're going to do the opposite of normal. Josie, can you read normal in a very... Josie's the least normal person. Who's really normal in this room? There's not too many normal people. Okay, Josie, read line number one.
Normal, right?
Yeah, normal voice.
Creative entrepreneurs manage stress.
And now, Izzy, say the second one in an unnormal way.
I help creatives keep their dreadlocks spray-free.
Woo!
Okay? Izzy helps creatives, as we saw in her pitch. And when you think of a creative, you don't think of someone who's dressed in a very normal way. So you're going to try and find a way to say who you help, but how I can visually recognize them. So Billy does executives. Okay, have you ever seen a guy in a suit with coffee stains down the front, driving Mercedes, but smoking chain, right? Like, now I know he makes a lot of money, this guy, but he needs Billy's help. So you don't want to just say, I help executives, I help coaches, I help whoever you do, I help women. What kind of women? Right? Women who want to burn their bras but aren't friggin' brave enough to do it yet. Call Josie because she's a change maker. Yeah? Braless Josie. Okay, great. We're going to play the arrogant game. Think about the most arrogant person. No, just joking. Okay. How about this? I want you to yell out if this is arrogant or not. If it is arrogant, say arrogant. Everyone else is playing catch up while we're ahead of the game.
The first one.
We're proud of the progress we've made.
Not arrogant.
Oh, very good. And the last one. Our product is the best on the market and nobody can compete with us.
Isn't it delusional?
Okay, turn to the person behind you and you have 1 minute to discuss arrogance in pitching and how you are on the scale. Okay? Uno minuto, por
For example, the first sentence that was focus on itself, but not ignoring
Let's see if you've been paying attention. Who out of this room is ranked in the 1.5% of Yes, because he brags about it in a very subtle, professional way that doesn't seem like bragging. We can all learn a lot from Billy in this way. Who is volunteering with an influencer on Sunday in this room?
Trent.
Trent and?
Trent.
Me.
Elena, and you said it, Katie?
Me.
Neve, yes? I thought Neve. Neve. I was like, that's a funny accent. Yeah? Because Neve did a post thanking people, name dropping. So, and who came early enough to get coffee?
Me.
Yes, excellent. So it's not only about name dropping, it's getting on time and being somewhere and having people know you, right? So it's who you know and also who knows you. Okay, so you want someone to name drop, kind of, right? Like knowing Victor helps. Yeah, that was crazy on stage. Idea 2 is how to brag. Okay, Maria, can you read number 1 in a normal, boring way?
One client Nestle hired me to train their team.
Okay, can you read second line in a delightful way?
Do you like chocolates? Once Nestle loved the set so much they did me with 5 huge packages of chocolate. I only ate 3. Is white chocolate even considered chocolate? Okay.
Great. So it's true. I want to brag to you that Nestle hired me. Ooh, wow, great for me. But I'm not going to do it in a braggy way. When you're talking about chocolate and you're my potential client, I'm going to drop that in while you're talking about it, and then we can talk about chocolate again. But it's just a quick little thing, but not in a boring way. Oh yeah, Nestle was my client. You like chocolate too? Yeah. Nobody remembers you for that. So name drop, but in a non-normal way. Be non-normal, because normal girls never make it on the newspaper. Right? Last idea, how to brag, number 3, is you have to interrupt. Sometimes people speak a lot, and you have the perfect product or service that relates to what they're talking about, but if you don't get in at the right moment, if you say it later, it's kind of like, it's just you missed that moment. So if I'm talking about my sister who's dealing with some issues and stress, okay, right now these women who work with Tanya, who works with women who aren't dealing very well, should right now politely interrupt me and interject how her services can help my sister with her life. But if you wait till we're totally done, I might run for a coffee, it might be too late. So I'm going to teach you the way in English, how to very politely, wonderfully interrupt. That gets your idea in there in a non-boring way.
How do we do that?
Right.
Thanks for asking, Victor. You start with speaking of. Okay, the natives in the room know that. Speaking of is the most beautiful way to interrupt in our language, and it gets you in with something that's related to what the last person spoke about. So, Victor, can you come on stage? My boyfriend gets mad at me because I'm constantly telling men that their flies are undone. He's like, why are you always looking at it? And I'm like, because I'm a good Samaritan. So Victor's gonna start speaking, and I'm going to interrupt every 2 sentences maximum. This is difficult for the polite people in the room and the people pleasers in the room, because you feel bad interrupting someone who monologues when they're the ones being rude in the first place, right? You have something going on in your brain where it's like, oh my God, I can't interrupt someone who doesn't give a shit about me and keeps talking without giving me a space to talk. Interrupt those Okay. So Victor starts speaking, and then I'm gonna say, oh, sorry, boob.
Okay.
Okay. He doesn't. We'll see if he gets it. Start speaking.
All right, so for this week, I have 3 speeches that I have to make in front of a number of people, and I would love for people to come and attend it and see and grow the visibility.
Speaking of being seen, did you know that Niev is doing content for small content creators, and that Josie is actually helping women? So
Speaking of Josie, did you know that she is organizing an event for professional speakers coming up very soon?
Did you know that there was a Professional Speaking Association of Spain that Josie is actually a member of, that's having an event?
Speaking of the PSA, I'm a founding member.
Speaking of you. So we can do it pretty well because we're not shy. This is a little bit harder for people who have a hard time saying what they want and getting attention. Yeah? Hello? So you're going to take 1 minute with another person, and you're going to interrupt every 2 sentences with the word speaking of and then relate it to one of the last words that they said. You must interrupt. If it goes to 3 sentences, you have failed the exercise and your partner has not learned anything. Yes? You have 1 minuto, por favor.
1 minuto.
So, this morning I was talking to my children about coming to the NBA today because of my future. Speaking of an amazing way to make events like this, and you have the opportunity to practice speaking and practice like this with all of this noise that is so loud that you can barely hear each person screaming. Speaking of being able to communicate, especially when people like Jessica walk around and listen to each conversation that's happening in so many different languages.
And sometimes you have to interrupt people when they don't want to be interrupted because there's something more important that needs to be done, like finishing my presentation on Yes? Last exercise that you're going to do, and then it's time for networking. This game is called Save the World. Because most of the time, you're selling your ideas like, I make a voice when I do it because it's the same pitch all the time. You guys do the same thing. We all do it all the same thing. My name is this, I do this for these people to change this. Not memorable. right? And it's okay, but you're not going, it's okay, but it's super normal, okay? So what you want to do is cut out I and me from your pitch, because it's not about you, it's about who you're serving. So to practice that, we're gonna play a game called Save the World. It's a little bit hard. Can I have someone in the arts, can I have you to come to the front? You? Yeah, you'll be good at this.
Oh, yeah.
Because her and Adam have studied improv. And if you study improv, your whole life becomes better. Because you can deal with the unexpected much better. And I know they're trained in that, so they'll be okay at this.
Technically not.
You're a comedian.
Yeah.